In late 2018, I bought the Seiko 5 SNK795 from creationwatches.com for $70. Other than Seiko, who else can offer you a watch totally in-house with an automatic movement, applied everything? I'm talking about the Seiko name, the 5 shield, as well as our batons with a frame day and date, less than $100. This watch, like so many others in the Seiko 5 catalog, are the quintessential bang for buck watch. And although Chinese watches can offer more with a sapphire crystal and a screw down crown for a higher water resistance, many of those watches will be powered by the NH35, a Seiko made movement. Furthermore, none of these Chinese watch brands can compare to the innovative achievements and awards the Japanese powerhouse Seiko has had throughout its 100-year plus existence. But don't get it twisted. I'm not here dumping on the likes of Cadison or Alpha, to name a few. I'm a big fan of the value for money these brands have to offer. Nor am I implying you should only buy from a 100-year-old company. I just want to make clear that there is substantive value in a brand's horological pedigree, and that Seiko has in spades. If this is your first time watching the Dapper Riz, my name is Jay, broadcasting the only channel on YouTube primarily featuring the best in affordable dress watches, better suited for the smaller wristed. The SNK79 is more sport than dress, and that suits me just fine. And on this oyster style solid link bracelet that came out my Turinel quartz field watch, the Seiko moves up in weight and class. But don't trip, because this is typical for affordable watches. Corners need to be cut to pass on the savings. Fancy packaging and watch bands or bracelets should be sacrificed first before anything on the watch head is considered. And because of this, the SNK79's bracelet goes down as a half negative on my list of pros and cons. If you don't know what a half negative is, it's a con or critique with positive aspects. The folded stainless steel bracelet comes with L pins for sizing, faintly brushed with only the ends of the middle links being polished, and a double button deployant clasp that is pressed with 3 micro adjusts. The bracelet feels both light and cheap, but surprisingly comfortable considering its construction. I just don't rock it with my SNK79 because it looks bad, but on my Citizen EcoDrive field watch, it looks tight. It gives my Citizen a sportier edge I now prefer. Oh, and I almost forgot, it comes with hollow end links. The trash standards on these Seiko 5 bracelets is the reason why we can find this watch for less than 100 bones. Hence half negative. If I were to critique anything else on this watch, it would have to be its lume and the finishing on the stainless steel case. Like the bracelet, the brush finish is so light it's difficult to spot. But it doesn't really bother me. I'm mostly glad Seiko didn't polish the case because the bezel can now stand out to contrast, as it also draws your focus on the dapper dial, which is this watch's first pro. It's measured good looks. This of course should be of no surprise to some of you, because Seiko and impressive dials have been a thing since way back. Y'all might remember this one, 1967 4402 8000 King Seiko. It's a simple dial, but those high polished razor cut indices, now that's what's up. Or maybe this is more your style. 5740 8000 Lord Marble 36,000 high beat. Now y'all know I'm a sucker for textured dials. and linen dials have such distinguished elegance. But what about color, Jay? That's what you guys sound. Don't trip, cause I got you. This glossy red 5606 7030 Lord Matic from 1968 slays. Who knew simplicity could stand out so well? And last but not least, my case swapped 1977 6309 8049 makes its second cameo on the dapper wrist. These watches, they're fun to wear. But back to the main attraction. The dial features a black sunburst center with a black ring around that. In the ring, we have the applied hour batons fully polished and beveled. The 12 o'clock is the fanciest and more prominent one, with the 6 and 9 o'clock being a fraction longer and wider than the rest of the indices. This detail can be easily missed. When I discovered it, I was impressed. Atop each hour marker rests half a lume dot matching the lume on the polished pencil hands that are beveled. But the lume is insufficient, dim and quick to fade. So no lume shot, y'all. These silver printed minute hashes border the dial, rounding out its look. With automatic and 21 jewels printed above the 6, I'm always glad to see the text being 2 lines or less. Anything more than that can crowd the dial. And it looks like they're trying too hard too. And as mentioned in the intro, the Seiko name and the 5 shield are applied and polished, conveying quality craftsmanship. And on the right bracelet, even more so. Being a big fan of day and date complications, I'm happy to see it match the dial. This is a well executed proficient watch, y'all. Let's now move to the SNK795 Second Pro, its size. This may not be the case for some of you, but unlike the difficulty of a small wrist pulling off a large watch, it's much easier for a large wrist to pull off a small watch. The 37 by 43 millimeter case size is perfect for my 6 1/4 inch wrist. This watch sits comfortably well proportioned on my wrist. With an 18 millimeter lug width and a 10.5 millimeter case height, the watch is compact in the best kind of way, making it an easy wear. And inside the compact case, through the screw-on case back, we can see the Seiko 7S26C with a BPH of 21,600 and a 41-hour power reserve. Strictly a workhorse movement built to last, this 21 jewel auto won't hack, and it won't dive either with only 30 meters of water resistance. The crown is pulled pushed, recessed, and small. Should these be cons too? Let me know in a comment below. And last but not least of this watch's pros is the price. You will have to go gray market to get it under $100, which could mean a shorter warranty, if any at all. Because I swear, some of my warranty cards are blank with no stamp or date of purchase. But that's a trade-off I don't seem to mind. Which brings up another trade-off I'm okay with when it comes to affordable watches. The Hardlex mineral crystal on this watch. Where many of you will consider this another cut corner, I don't quite see it that way. Sapphire would be better, no doubt. But does this watch really need a sapphire? This is where my SNK795 comes in. This watch, purchased over a decade ago, was my introduction to the 7S26 and Seiko's own Hardlex crystal. Because of this watch, I did not hesitate purchasing this watch. First, I knew the size was a great fit. It's basically the same case. And second, being a repairman, having to use power tools and operating heavy machinery, constantly working with my hands, I knew the robust nature of the movement and the crystal. I mean, just look at it. Yes, it has nicks and scratches, but that's because I put this watch through some dirt, y'all. And when you consider that, it held up nicely. But if you're more of a scratch magnet than me, this could totally be a con. I just wanted y'all to see why it's not a con for me and show you the proof. In conclusion, if you were to buy this watch, you'll have to chuck its bracelet for a smarter look, because its original lacks a taper that better suits the watch head and a completely polished center link that pairs better with the bezel. But maybe you're more like me and you prefer leather. Give me a minute as I change it to a Desari Regal 2 vintage leather strap from Straps Co. I usually wait for a sale to get 20 to 30% off with the third strap free. But since I ain't getting paid, there ain't no links provided below. Now you guys know I don't do editing. And because of that, you're just gonna have to put up with this. But I've been practicing. And I seem to be doing all right. That was a bracelet too. Look at that. I mean, it changes the watch. Note how the black edges of the strap complement the watch. Not a bad look. That looks nice. But what if you're more the NATO type? Give me another quick minute to show you how I've been wearing it as of late. Don't be afraid to switch up your straps and bracelets. You'd be surprised how good some combinations look. This one should go quicker, considering I'm not dealing with the bracelet. But sometimes pressure gets to me and I trip. But that wasn't too bad. Let me just pop in this. Wow, am I taking longer with this than the bracelet? Again, we're gonna have a black on black combination. It just rocks, right? But don't sleep on the gray, because on a deeper level, the silver printing also is doing a collaboration with this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, man, how cool is that red second hand? LA is starting to get warm again up in here, so a good soft NATO is a must. Since 1969, Seiko 5 has given us, the blue-collar collector, the ability to have a well-made wristwatch we can be proud of. As a self-employed individual, I take pride in the work I do, and because of that, I got mad respect for Seiko, because clearly they do too. Whether it's in their Grand Seiko line or their more affordable Seiko 5s, Seiko makes watches for all people, and they do it exceptionally well. And that right there is cool. I'm down with it. Oh, and about the new Seiko 5 Superman badge, I'm not gonna hate, because it has its own modern swag. But I'm on Team Old School, so I gotta represent. Until the next Dapper Wrist video, don't neglect your wrists. Style them.